Live, hello everyone, good afternoon, and welcome to this exciting episode of the Bisimoto Tech Tuesday, episode 136. Yeah, 136 or 135. Shame on me. The plans for today to talk about some really cool things as we work our way with projects. We had a baseline dyno this morning that came in. The guys from Action actually picked up a nice Porsche that we're going to do some magic to, so stay tuned for that. Please pay attention to the Bisimoto YouTube page. Subscribe if you don't already, and you'll see a ton of stuff. Moby X, what is the deal? So, for many, many years, we've had the opportunity to interact with the guys from EA. EA is, of course, the huge organization, the electronics organization that does things like Madden and Need for Speed, and it's just a very huge gaming company, right? So we've built cars for them. When they did a Need for Speed as far back as probably 2015, we built this beautiful Porsche that they gave us, like a rusty red Porsche and a design on paper, and we built it to design to the T. So since then, we've had a relationship with them. And thanks to Rod Chung, who's a great friend of mine, he was able to connect me with the Kaiser, who does a lot of drawing, a lot of beautiful art, a lot of renders for the games. So a lot of games that you play with Need for Speed and those cars, and the Kaiser did a ton of those. And meeting Kaiser out at SEMA a few years back, we say, hey, we need to do something together. He's even posted, if you go on Kaiser's Twitter feed, he has on top of his feed this Bisimoto homage twin turbo 911 with the turbos hanging out, but like a little vacant section of the wing area, which is so cool, right? And I said to him, hey, I need to build one of your creations. And guess what? Fast forward to today, I commissioned him with some influence from Errolson Hugh from Acronym to put together the most amazing street-going 935 ever. And what was it? The Moby. Guys, I'm telling you, the Moby Dick, the 935L is the king of all 911s, the king of all 935s. That long tail that helps significantly with aerodynamics is something that we're going to take full advantage of. And it's absolutely fantastic. No one's ever seen one. None has ever existed on the street ever on planet Earth. I want to make it happen, you know? Anyone that knows Need for Speed? Nothing yet. I'll probably ask Kaiser, you know? Do you like my profile? Says Andrea. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Kind of hard to see from here. Need some 935 swag, and that we will bring. So right now, my good friend Zach is working on another crazy version of this, maybe a larger scale, like this. And we're going to launch the finished vehicle in the Toyo's booth for SEMA. Of course, Toyo in normal fashion will have a ton of pins made, which is pretty cool. That vehicle is going to be absolutely fantastic. Can we see your Cayman? Yes. Let me just move to the side here. Maybe I'll do a walk around when we're done, you know? Only if there were a model. That's true. Falcon, do you have the 935L, the Moby Dick model? Because I was going to show it today, but it's not in Eddie's office. Let me know. Please do. You know? 1/8 model. Ooh, that's pretty big. Hello, Sir Savgoat. Good seeing you indeed. Thank you so much. Walk around. I will do that afterwards. Because right now I have the YouTube stuff going right there. Hello, YouTube people. I have the podcast networks going now with Spotify and Anchor and Podbean and Apple Podcasts and iTunes and Google Podcasts. So I have all that. So it's kind of difficult to like grab all this equipment. What I'll do is maybe I'll go out and we'll come back in and we'll walk around, you know? BC, there are 2 types of braking oils now, 2 types. Well, I do know that my friends from Purol, they do make 2 grades. They have an SAE 30, SAE 40. But if that's not along the vein of what you're speaking of, please let me know. Gas or electric go-kart hybrid. I like electric. See, all around me, like right here, I'm surrounded by these cars. I have the K3V here. I have a sport four-wheel drive Civic there. I have a Porsche here and I have a Porsche there. Mercedes 190, Cosworth, a CRX, a Rolls. The Odyssey right here I'm looking at as well. Right behind me, this beautiful, beautiful Cayman with some really sick carbon fiber wheels that cost probably more than the car. It's crazy, isn't it? Anyway, I love going fast. I love speed, and I love the ability to have a lot of fun in an automotive arena. But what I don't like is spewing hydrocarbons or damaging gases into the atmosphere. So all these years, I've always had that weird guilt. It was always there in the back of my mind about what I was doing with the elements of combustion when I was having fun and shooting flames. So that's why all my cars here, including the Cayman here, I like to switch to flex fuel and run on ethanol because it's my way of trying to have a cleaner exhaust gas emanating from the vehicle. But then when I move to EV, oh my God, there are no emissions whatsoever, and I love it as well. Just like, I love you, Bretrick, as well. Thank you so much, you know. NASA work, says Corval. So okay, listen in. Oh my God, congratulations. I know that Corval was trying to get a job into that sector. Congratulations indeed, sir. Thank you so much for sharing that. Have you guys now done your electric motor tests yet? If it's Moby Dick that's going to need power, Tesla swap, or something from Cascadia Motion. So many knobs, I love so many different things. I'm a huge advocate of really the radio style architecture. So I like that a lot. And then the, you know, as you think about it, Axio is pretty nice too. But the ideal setup for me that I would put in the Moby would be something that would be probably a radio style setup, let's say radio, with an integrated transaxle, single speed, and just for sake of efficiency and space savings, have the, I guess, the inverter also incorporated there. So you see applications like that, like from Tesla or from our friends at Karma. I'm not a huge, I don't like the Cascadia stuff, not quite yet. Maybe later on. Maybe Yasa, because they do a lot of, you know, radio, well, I guess they do axial stuff, don't they? Anyway, so I won't be using Cascadia stuff. I won't be using any of the Tesla batteries or anything like that. We're probably going to do our own thing, but it's going to be pretty nice indeed. And what's cracking, what's popping, says Alejandro, I believe. I was here talking about the new project we have. It's a collaboration between a lot of my technical partners, but in particular from a design perspective, Errolson Hugh from Acronym, and also Kaizo, or the Kaiza, out in the UK, and very talented individuals. Errolson brings this amazing kind of military meets dark meets amazing style to the project with the design. So you see that design with a nice livery on it. That's totally Acronym. Interior appointments would be our friends for Acronym, for, you know, the Acronym team doing some stuff with Carbone as well. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And then Kaiza, who's just an amazing artistic mind, keeps improving on the project and adding things and making it look more amazing. So as you guys know, this would be the most amazing project we've ever done here at Bisimoto. It's going to be the ultimate in combination of that beauty of a classic vehicle, especially the Group 5 classic race cars, with the most utmost in technology. And not only technology in terms of propulsion, but in terms of materials being used inside the car, in terms of the aerodynamics that are going to be used in terms of lighting, in terms of everything. How should I say? You see that little nice light strip in the back? Very advanced, but doesn't take away. It's almost like a little retro kind of cyberpunk look to it, right? But doesn't take away from the essence of the vehicle. Even the front lights with those little beams that 911 design is going to do with us. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. You know. Hey, BC, this guy who added Koenigsegg free valve to a Harbor Freight engine. And that's the same on the Miata. Do you see this as a common mod in the future? Yes. For the enthusiast community, there are many advantages in being able to have a free valve technology, because the free valve technology does one of many things. One, it puts away the use of a throttle body. You have no need for a throttle body. Also, you can have an infinite amount of cam styles. So lift and duration is just a matter of programming. So you can imagine the opportunities. You can have a really torquey cam for low RPM. You can have for high RPM, you can have this amazing free-flowing camshaft. You can have variable dynamic compression based upon your lobe separation. There's so much you can do. Net, for those of you who don't care about the jargon technology about that, you can make a lot of power very efficiently, which is pretty cool. And on the other side, if you want economy, the free valve opportunity allows that to happen as well. So I see that as being a very, very good thing to happen, and many people embrace that technology, especially as we have aftermarket tuning solutions that continue to embrace it. But on the same token, you look at where the OEMs are going, and that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm doing all this and all this craziness. A lot of the OEMs are moving towards electric vehicle technology. So that's where things seem to want to be going nowadays, you know? Is there anything you do to give back to automotive education program, says Evan Herboat? I'm a student in motorsports technology program myself. So Evan Hubert, what I'm doing today, what I'm doing with you, is something that I've not been compensated for. What I'm doing with this Tech Tuesday, where this is my 135th episode or so, this is my way of giving back to this country being so good to me. I am being that person I needed, Evan, when I was younger. Because when I came here and I wanted to understand about everything automotive and technology and motorsports, people just wouldn't help me. And then when I got some help from some people, it was somewhat many times deceitful, riddled with a lot of myths and untruths. And so what I'm doing here is using this opportunity to give back to automotive education, to be able to provide pretty much everything I know so everyone can benefit from it. So you won't have to go through the mistakes I went through by getting deceived from time to time. You won't have the opportunity to go through all the pitfalls I experienced. If anything, provide an environment where you can do better than I have by giving you everything I know. Literally, I share everything I know, everything. So that's my goal here. That's what I'm doing, sir. So I hope that gives you some insight to how I give back to automotive education. Hello, Dealing Designs. You missed it. I just talked a lot about the new Moby X project that we're doing, which is pretty cool, you know? Don't say yourself short, BC. You do more than Tech Tuesday for the community. Thank you so much, Drewby Life. But it's the one thing that I do that I take really good pride with, you know? The original Moby Dick Porsches have around 850 horsepower. Yes, the 750 motors can go up to 94 horsepower continuous. So you need about 5 or 8 of them to match the original Moby Dick. Yes, but here's the thing. You know one thing that's interesting, Matty Cox, is when you look at the BHP, I'm talking about the brake horsepower or the horsepower to the crank of some of the Mobys. This one right here, I just posted a video on YouTube. If you haven't seen it, please go after we're done. But I posted a video of this on the dyno on E85, and we got to 903 and stopped there. So with technology, nowadays, we've made more than the old school 935s. But take it like this. Those horsepower figures are peak horsepower figures without much thought to the area under the curve. How torque delivery occurs in electric vehicles is absolutely totally different from petrol, meaning you can have a 636 horsepower car take out a 900 horsepower petrol vehicle because of how the air under the curve exists and how that energy is being thrown into the ground for propulsion. So, that being said, yeah, it's not very uncommon to have multiple YASA motors. As a matter of fact, there's one vehicle that's very popular by a major manufacturer that's had a lot of vehicles around it, and that one has 9 YASA motors in the vehicle. And then YASA also has quite a few, oh, you were talking about the 750. Yeah, they have other models than the 750, but there's quite a few. So the horsepower is not really oranges to oranges comparison. It's more like apples to oranges, because even though the numbers may seem higher and lower than others, the air under the curve is what really wins races. You didn't know that you were so special to me, Cindy Kelly Mays? You are. Oh God. Do you have any insight on M Factory gears? I ordered the 1-to-4 drag set. So I haven't. I'm familiar that they made those. I haven't. So I've used the Quay stuff with a lot of success. I've now dabbled with some of the things from, I'm trying to remember the company that I just used recently. I've heard some sayings. Some of my customers are coming with saying stuff. Even this Civic right here has Quaif stuff in it. So I haven't really played with M Factory stuff. Years ago, I played with an M Factory Final Drive, I think for a CRZ, but that's about it. But it's been interesting. Thank you so much, D-Ling. I appreciate the kind words on the Moby Dick, looking very delicious. Appreciate that. Rodrigo Martini says, love electrics, but can't bear the idea of parting with a turbo engine. I think both will coexist, maybe combustion with hydrogen. So Rodrigo, I feel you, brother. 100%. I was right there. Not too long ago. I was 100% like you. Had nothing to do, didn't want anything to do with anything electric. I call them blenders. Still do to some extent. Didn't care. I felt that electric vehicles were for tree huggers and people who wore hemp sandals, and was just a means of transportation that was ho-hum and had no soul. But honestly, I did notice that a lot of my partners started going there, so I needed to embrace and understand the technology, even though I didn't care about it. And when I built this thing behind me, I'm telling you guys, it changed my life. It is the most amazing. The funny thing is, and I've said this before, and forgive me, Rodrigo, I'll share it again. Would you believe that even though this thing is amazing and makes a ton of power and shoots flames and it's fantastic, do you know that when I drive this versus when I drive that behind me, that I feel that the petrol car dampens my connection with the road? It does. And it's hard to explain. It's hard to express in words, but the electric vehicle, you feel and hear everything. You feel the tires. You feel the connection with the road through the steering shaft. Everything is just so connected. While, You may think it's crazy, but what we're used to, that vibration and sound and turbo, it dampens your feel of the tarmac. It's the weirdest thing ever. And when people say soul, oh, I'm telling you, that's far from the truth. This thing has a nice mechanical whine that's just intoxicating. It's so cool. And if you want to get a taste of that, once again, on my YouTube page, I have all these driving videos up there. Go take a look and let me know what you think. Leave in the comments what your thoughts are. It's different. So, call me crazy, Rodrigo, but I'm an enthusiast first, then an engineer. So, I want to go fast, and I just want to feel that torque, and it's just amazing. And I'm telling you, this EV stuff fits the bill. This vehicle most likely will be my own in-house, last petrol vehicle that I'll build. Now for my customers, of course, you know, I have a sport front wheel drive here. I have a Porsche right outside that was just dropped off that we're going to convert to a twin turbo. So I'm going to keep building for customers for whatever they want. But I also have customers here. There's a 935 right here, customer's car. He wants to take the petrol engine out, and he wants to go EV. After experiencing mine, I'm telling you, it's a life changer. So Rodrigo, I don't expect you to even agree with me. But I'm telling you, take it from me, take it from someone who was just like you. My life has changed, and I had to experience it firsthand to be able to feel the way I feel today. Billy has a good point. He said petrol cars will become a rich man's thing, just like horses. And that's why I foresee it. Years will come, and you guys are seeing this amazing renaissance. You're seeing this amazing period of time in automotive history where this transition is happening. And it won't happen overnight, but after time, yes. I foresee the government being able to put things in I already see it in the UK, in some parts of Europe, where there are fees you have to pay to drive a petrol car into certain areas at certain times of the day or week. So they'll make it more expensive to drive petrol cars through registration or price of fuel. No matter what, EVs will end up being the go-to. And as sad as it is, you know, we like the exhaust and the popping and banging and everything like that. Even in California, they're going to be banned by 2025. You won't be able to, in a few years, close to 2030, you won't be able to buy in California a new vehicle that's petrol-based. Some manufacturers won't even, Volvo is going to stop making petrol cars and pure EV, and and, you know, and we can fight. That's cool. I'm right there with you guys. I know, I hear you. A lot of you don't like it, but experience it first. Experience it first before you knock it. You know, please do. It's Gideon Van from Cape Town. Thank you so much. You know, hi TBM monsters. Where do you get your network parts for all the sick well-tail builds? J Rules, here's the thing. My spouse is very well connected, extremely connected in that whole community. And there are individuals who are curators of the 935s that people tend to race at historics in Monterey. You know, Monterey at Laguna Seca, there's certain times of the year, especially near Car Week, where wealthy people, even people like Jay Leno and Adam Carolla, they go to race. Guys from Canepa, they race. And they race these $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, $5 million cars, like classic cars, these Group 5 vehicles from the 70s and 80s. They race them, like still race them. They have people who cater to these cars. That people like what's his name up north? I'm drawing a bit of a blank here. Jeff Gambroth. He would like take care of these 901s and all these air-cooled V8s and V12s and flat sixes. He'll take care of these things and set them up for perfect track activity, and they'll race them. And from time to time, these gentlemen will crash these cars. And if you crash your prize 935 classic vehicle, you can't just go to Pep Boys and buy parts to replace it. You can't just call your insurance company and have them go get it from a dealership or a Porsche dealership. There are certain people that have these access to the original molds who would then replicate that and bring it for and have it mounted and take care of it. We have connections with those individuals who are curators of these very expensive, very rare vehicles, and with their kindness, they're able to pull, new, fresh castings from these molds and then provide it to us. And then Randy, a good friend of mine at DreamWorks, does the painstaking process of grafting them to non-tube chassis vehicles. So it's very difficult and very expensive to do, but that's how we're able to create these. And it's my goal to really celebrate Group 5 cars. You know, we have a lot of people here on Instagram, GTX05 being one of them, that celebrates that whole Group 5 boxy era with the CSL BMWs and the Nissan 300ZXs and the 935, some Porsches, and all these other crazy vehicles. We celebrate those, and this is my way of celebrating it. But even though I'm an advocate of the beautiful lines of those old classic race cars, I'm not a big fan of old technology. So that's my goal, to incorporate the two and then bring them together, you know? Your price is epic. It looks like a German car in the 30s. So thank you so much, Nat St. Pierre. I'll take that as a compliment. Do you work on any of the cars on Porsche? It says Shark Dude 3107. Of course. So I'm just going to go through the line right here that's right in front of me behind you guys. Rolls-Royce, CRX, Mercedes-Benz 190E, Boxster, 911 from 1975, and a Honda Civic. So just in this row right here that's in front of me behind you guys, I have some variety there. And you just saw an Acura lead by there. That tail right there's another Rolls-Royce you can see there. There's a VW bus there. There's a 935. There's a Civic wagon right here next to me. I have quite a few cars, you know. I'm Algerian, love Anglis. Thank you so much, Ibrahim. Appreciate that indeed. Dealing, is the Moby X body based on actual Moby, or is it a start from zero type of deal? It's based off a body. So it's from the molds of the 935L. So when you see it, it's a crazy proper molds, and that's the basis of the vehicle, indeed, you know? What is my favorite car? So I did break that down into 3. And I'll tell you what, my favorite car in terms of how ridiculously popular it is, of course, and just the recognition and what it's done for my brand, is right here, the Bisimoto Odyssey. That's number 1 in terms of that. Fun to drive, which is amazing on the track, with the red center seat that we built, twin turbo, in my showroom over there, absolutely amazing. And if you haven't seen it, look up the Bisimoto center seat, an amazing vehicle. Jay Leno drove it and loved it, said it was better than his F1, amazing, right? And in terms of just sheer enjoyment of technology and just fun, this right here. This K3V, whether I'm doing a rally, I'm doing road racing, or driving on the street, because yes, it's street legal, no emissions, it's been great. And with that, I must bid you guys adieu. I'm getting this red crazy alert that it's time for me to depart. But guys, thank you so much for joining me on this Tick Tuesday. I will keep it here on the IGTV after we're done. I'll also have it on the YouTube channel in a very nice archived opportunity where all the good stuff and meat and potatoes are put there. And then, if you prefer to hear me on your podcast networks, please go on your favorite podcasting outlet, whether it's Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podbean, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Anchor, whatever you like, type in BISIMOTO, and boom, you'll be pleased. I'll be there. Guys, have a wonderful afternoon. See you next week. Thanks for the kind words. Stay safe, but stay tuned. Cheers. Bye-bye.